Hey everybody, it's Ern from the Kill Be Live, bringing another Kill Be Live video. Me dude! Yes, I made a shirt. If you're interested, look down in the description. I've been wanting to quit my diet lately. But not really. I haven't been really wanting to quit, but what do you do if you feel like quitting? I've been stressed out lately. I've been struggling. I've had some stinking thinking. I've been in a funk. I went on out to family camp and I got tired. I'm tired now. And I feel like I'm struggling. And I thought, you know, there's a lot of people that struggle with lots of different things. And on diet, definitely, for me, when I get tired, when I'm working hard and everything's not going to plan, these were the times that I would run to food, run to something to make me feel better or help me forget my problems. And so today I thought I would just talk a little bit about some tools you can use when you feel like quitting. I also am going to do something else at the same time if possible. I was at the butcher and I asked for another chuck roll. But this time I realized, and from a helpful viewer, my last couple big chuck rolls I had were not actually chuck rolls. I had bought a chuck roll, and this is like a beef shoulder clot, which does not sound appealing at all. But it says beef chuck roast on it. $4.19 a pound, 22.65 pounds, $94.90. That's a lot. But instead of cutting this one into steaks, we're having a birthday party tomorrow. My daughter is turning 3. And I thought, do you know what? I'm not gonna go to the store and buy their crappy hamburger. I'm gonna cut this up and I'm gonna make my own hamburger. What is the meat, the fat ratio? I don't know, and I don't care. I mean, this is gonna be my ground chuck. My goal with this is just to chop it into just chunks as is that will fit in my meat grinder. Pretty simple. And this would be like good if I want to like pre-season the meat. Like I could add seasoning, salt, or whatever I wanted to it and run it through the grinder. You know it's going to actually incorporate really well. You would have to test it, like cook some of it and see if it was salty enough, but it's almost probably better, you know, when it comes to salt, just to salt it afterwards to get it right, like, because that's a lot of meat to try to season and get it right the first time. Yeah, everyone gets in the funks. Everyone has good days, people have bad days, and I find I'm the most susceptible for failing or wanting to quit, or when I get tired. Look at that. I was really expecting going into this family camp to have like a bunch of problems beforehand. Usually if there's something I really want to do, like there's all these problems that I have to get through to do something cool, but I was able to go without much of a problem. But then when I got back, it's like all the floodgates of everything opened up. Bam. Just little strips. Yeah, and so when I get tired, that's when I wrestle with negative thoughts the most. And fortunately, being on the carnivore diet for 14 months, pretty much 14 months, I've learned a lot of self-control, a lot of discipline. Whereas before I would have just run to food to like make me feel better, and now I know on the carnivore diet I can run to food to make me feel better, but it just has to be the right food. Like eat a big old steak. That helps. Hey, that might be one of the tips. This looks really good and it has a lot of fat on it. Oh yeah. Yeah, and on top of that, after getting back from camp, I just noticed trying to work out, my shoulder's been hurting. Just one right shoulder has been just hurting. Like the tendon is really tight, and I could do a little bit of working out, but I just can't bench press. And so that's frustrating me too, because it's like I've been working so hard at it, I don't want to go backwards. you know, I secretly want to rest and not do it. But then you work so hard at something, you don't want to mess up what you've done, for one, or try to get out of the routine. Because that's one of those things, like, you get out of the routine of doing something, and it's hard to get back at it. I just ate dinner, and now I'm a little bit hungry because I'm chopping this meat. This happens all the time. I have things go through my head like, I want to quit. I want to quit. It's like, what do you want to quit, Aaron? I want to quit everything is what I think. And when I start thinking that way, which is completely irrational, I know that I'm tired. And I'm not the only one that struggles with being tired or wanting to quit or wanting to give up. Everyone has bad days. All days can't be the best days. You can't always feel like $1,000,000. You can't always feel motivated. You can't always feel inspired. It's not gonna happen. Rain falls somewhere every day. Sometimes it's on you, and you're thankful because your lawn is needing it, or you're in a drought. Other times it's just flooding, and it's just relentless, and you feel like you're drowning, and you're praying for it to stop, and it doesn't, and it sucks. So what do you do in those moments besides just freak out and make poor decisions? Well, one, learn over time what your triggers are. Learn over time what actually is a poor decision. Hopefully you can learn from other people's mistakes and not make them all yourself. Unfortunately, human beings are not that great at that. We like learning the hard way. But what do you do when you feel like giving up? But if you've been around life long enough, you've learned some of your triggers, and if you've been on a diet long enough, you'll definitely have learned some things. What stresses you out, what triggers you, and how to deal with it. But it's not always easy to remember in the moment what to do. So this is kind of a video just to remind you what to do. And if you're in the middle of a rough time right now, just try to consider some of these things. My first recommendation is always just eat a big old steak. It doesn't have to be this big. Eat a big old steak. Eat some beef, some bacon, some eggs. Eat some food. Good nutritious food. Food that's gonna sustain you. Food that's actually that's proper for a human being to eat. Stay away from all this processed stuff. Stay away from all the sugars, even a lot of the natural sugars. It's not gonna help you when you're tired and exhausted a lot of times. It's just gonna perpetuate, like ups and downs, and you're not gonna be able to glide as easily because you're kind of, I won't say you're getting high, but you're kind of getting high potentially on some of even, the fruits, if you eat a bunch of fruit and stuff like that. Some people can handle it, some people can't. I just steer clear because of the type 2 diabetes. I'm probably fine, but I'm just steering clear. So eat first. Eat something good. A lot of times, 9 times out of 10, that's all I needed, was just to eat something. Glad I sharpened this knife. Another one of the things you could do, if the first one doesn't really work, or it does, but this is still a good tool to use, would be think about why you started this diet in the first place. And like I was just talking about my diabetes, that's why I started in the first place. I had the high blood pressure, and then I got diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And just that was the catalyst for change in my life. And it wasn't just the fact that I got diabetes, it was the fact that I found out through just a couple minutes of research that you can reverse diabetes by staying away from carbs and sugars. And that is a fact, Jack. You could do it. And so that's what I always go back to. I have no desire to be diabetic again. I have no desire to have high blood pressure again. I have zero desire to do that, and that's why I started doing this. That's what I always remember when the steak doesn't work. Another good tool is just the focus on today. A lot of times we let a lot of the stresses of tomorrow get to us. And that's not good. I mean, tomorrow's gonna have enough worrying of its own, for one. Doesn't mean we don't plan for tomorrow, don't consider tomorrow. We just have to be really cognizant. Does that even work, cognizant? of what we could actually accomplish today. Is it something we could actually work on today or not? We start worrying about all the things we have to do. And that is not good. So just worry about what you can do today. Today I'm going to eat a steak. All right. Today I'm going to think about why I started this. Maybe I'll prepare a steak for tomorrow. And so I don't have to worry about what I'm eating tomorrow either. But did I worry today? No. I just prepared a little bit. Yeah, just get through today. Another one you can do is seek a friend. Seeking a friend, and this is actually what I'm doing right now. My wife is gone tonight because it's mama night out. She's out meeting with her friend and just chatting. The kids are over watching a movie in the other room. The dog's sitting at my feet because it's a dog and it's hoping for some of this food to fall on the ground, this meat. This is why I'm recording, part of the reason I'm recording this video, because I was thinking about it, I was like, you guys are my friends. Obviously I have friends I can call in real life too. Not many of them I can talk to about diet. That have like numbers I could just call. I could probably text some of y'all or send emails and stuff like that, but I just know that a lot of you that watch these videos are rooting for me, and being able just to talk to the camera as a friend just helps me calm down, because I don't feel alone. Look at that. That's a lot of meat. Almost 23 pounds. People are probably thinking like, why would you take that big thing and just grind it in the hamburger? Well, because I already have some steaks. And two, I thought it would be cool to... My daughter was in there. I thought it would be cool to just grind all this up and see how it turns out. And I'm only grinding it once, which is probably not the best way to do it. I have a bigger attachment. Do it in the bigger attachment and then run it through a second time. It would better incorporate all the fat. But I'm not too worried about it. It looks pretty good. But obviously you can go to the store and buy ground chuck for probably less than $4.19 a pound some places, maybe not. But there's something satisfying about being able to grind your own and know exactly what's in it. I know exactly which muscles I just put in it. And if you really want to get technical, you can take all the fat off and all the meat off and weigh them up and do the math to see what your exact ratio is. I'm not worried about it. I don't have time for all that. I'm busy. But yeah, when my wife's like, I want hamburgers for Rachel's birthday, I said, I'm gonna grind my own. And I guarantee you, this is gonna taste better than the stuff you can get from the store. Most stores for sure. And there's just something, like I was saying, there's just something about knowing exactly what in it. Hey Aaron, isn't it just hamburger in the other ones? I think so. Who knows? You weren't there. Yeah, another thing that I think you could do when you feel like quitting is give yourself some time to dream about where you're gonna be in a year. Sit down and think, where am I gonna be in a year? And I know that's difficult, and you're not going to be 100% sure. And since I've been on the carnivore diet for 14 months, most of my biggest changes happened within 90 days, the 6 months, when it came to like weight loss. But I'm continuing to have changes in the way I think about food and healing from the slavery to food and the way I thought about it. And I'm still learning every day about what foods are not good and bad. So, hey Aaron, in 1 year, where are you gonna be? Well, I wanna be at least the same weight I am now. Maybe 10 pounds lighter. Just depends. I've learned that in the last year that wrestling with my weight too much is not good. My body seems to like being at this place when I'm eating about 2.5, 3 pounds of meat per day, 6'4". But where do I want to be? I want to move forward. I want to continue the workout. I want to continue to find strength and healing. I don't want to see myself back where I was. Yeah, part of remembering why you're doing is also dreaming about where you're going to be in a year. It also helps you remember that you don't want to go backwards. It's easy to go on a diet and get just so wound up tight about and focused on your weight loss that you forget to loosen up and take care of yourself, which is weird because you're on a diet to find health, but you forget to take care of yourself. Like, make sure you're okay. Make sure you're not tired. We forget to rest. We forget we could sit down and read a book. We forget we can get on YouTube and watch a Kilby Life video and some crazy dude talking about meat and losing weight and whatever weird jokes he comes up with. So why don't you fight a dinosaur? Because you'll get your ass kicked. Find out what is restful for you. Hobbies. My wife is doing a bunch of cross stitching. I got a daughter that's doing some knitting. Exercise. Go for a walk. Go sit out in the woods and watch the birds or listen to the birds, or I guess you can listen to the band The Birds if that's your jam. But don't forget that your health is not just about weight loss. It's also about the rest and finding outlets for stress besides putting num-nums in your tum-tums. I mean, I guess the opposite of dreaming where you're gonna be in a year, or you could kind of review how far you've come. Not necessarily, okay, why you started it, but like how far have you come? Assess, Aaron, you have lost over 50 pounds. You've still got a farmer's tan. Your muscles are getting bigger. There's this weird muscle on top of here. There's still some flaps. I still got loose skin. I'm not perfect, but I've come a long way. That's a big deal. Remind yourself how far you've come. You've come way farther than you realize, and sometimes it's okay just to bask in the greatness of your accomplishments. Not in a prideful, arrogant way, but just in a way that's like, I did do a good job. Because we're often so self-deprecating and demeaning to ourselves, we don't like to give ourselves credit. Give yourself some credit. You did a good job. You did a good job. Give yourself a hand of applause because you've worked hard. And just remember that setbacks are part of the journey. Everyone's gonna have setbacks. Everyone's gonna have obstacles. There's always gonna be obstacles and setbacks. And instead of looking at them as failures, look at them as opportunities to learn and succeed next time. Do better next time. Grow and become stronger. Use setbacks as stepping stones towards success instead of using them as reasons to quit. Ultimately, enduring through tough times produces character. Going through challenges really require patience and self-discipline, which most people struggle with. Being patient, having self-discipline, getting stronger up here is a big deal. And always remember, don't listen to the critic. Don't listen to the critic. They're not in the arena. There's a lot of people in the arena of a carnivore diet or diets in general, trying to find health. There's a lot of people in this arena that are there rooting for you, clapping for you, just, you can do it, you can do it. And there's a lot of people there that are also just willing to lend a hand and lift you up when you fall. Because you're gonna fall. You're gonna have a bad day. It's gonna get tough. You might have ran out of steak and all you got is chicken breast. That would drive someone mad, drive me mad. I'd be dreaming of actual ribeyes. All right, everybody, I hope this helped you and you found some tools to endure when you feel like quitting. Hopefully you're entertained by my dad jokes, and hopefully you're hungry for some nice beef, ground beef. That didn't make you hungry. I don't know what's wrong with you. But I thought maybe we could help some people that might be struggling like I am today. What was your biggest fail? I want you to write it down in the comments. What was your biggest fail? And what did you learn from it? How did you get back up? And what advice would you give to somebody that is struggling to stay on a carnivore diet or a low carb diet? I guess any diet. But I'm an advocate for a carnivore low carb diet, definitely. It has brought me the most healing. Let us know down in the comments. I'm gonna try some of this burger. When you do it yourself, it's all fluffy. Oh. I almost wanna just bite it. There's something about raw meat that you cut or yourself that looks appealing. Did to pack it together a little bit more, but look how good of a my yard reaction I got with that. It tastes good, really good. Needs more salt, that's good. 14 months on the carnivore diet, and that's delicious. It tastes way better than the store-bought stuff. I'm not just saying that. I just want to thank everyone who watches these Kill Be Life videos. If I earned your subscription today, make sure we get it. Give us a thumbs up, share the videos with anyone you think that can use them. Also, if you would like to support the channel, we got a spread shop down in the comments and Patreon and just different ways you can support this channel. We appreciate everything that we can get. I don't know how to say that. I feel weird asking for support. Support our channel for what? What do you get out of it? Bad dad jokes? Watch some guy eat meat? I don't care if you support our channel. Well, I do. Support our channel, support a different channel. Just get the word out. All right, until next time. Oh yeah, kill me out. Peace. Oh yeah. Stop flexing on the screen, dude. You weirdo.